And welcome back to another episode of Warriors of Destiny. Let's have a read of some the last two journal entries. Today, the three of us remain buried. Let's start again. Today, the three of us remaining buried the valiant knights Erroneous, Meridian, Gurasi, Noin, and Noin. Here upon the underground battlefield where they fell. Tomorrow we seek our way back to our world. Our disastrous quest here is finished. The wraiths came this morning. There were three of them. They walked through the stone. Their blackness was deeper than the shadows from which they emerged. Advancing towards Lord British, they ignored Shana and myself. Lord British held their gazes, murmuring words of life, healing, and protection. Still they advanced. One raised its hand, pointing at our Lord. Then a silver bolt struck our immortal king, and he fell to the stony earth. Shana was frozen, transfixed. I stumbled forward, but when I touched the cloak, I shrank back. Foreboding washed over me. They took our Lord with them. I was powerless to stop them. I'm afraid we all are. And there we have it. A quick recap. Yeah, and as you can see, this is what we've managed to accomplish thus far. Hopefully today I can complete it and hopefully make a journey to the Codex. One hopes, but in order to do so, I've got to get some levels up and some armor. Okay. I'll catch you in the next bit. Sorry about not posting any videos any time in the past week, I think it was. I got caught up in some manga, so here's what we've got so far. I thought I'd upload it anyway. For a while I spend quite a bit of time getting equipment, exploring, getting ships and whatnot. Traveling around and generally leveling up, and really. It's a real pain in the ass because when you die, you lose. Anyway, I don't know what the exact amount is, but I think it's about 50% of your experience when you die per character. So it's not taken at resurrect or any other point, it's at character death, which is quite annoying. Because as you probably know, I've died probably hundreds of times, probably bordering close to thousands. Well, probably not thousands, a couple hundred. This is where I found the prison underneath the Lord British's castle. I talked to him, he wanted me to let him out, I let him out, he attacked me, so... I don't know what his dealio is, but whatever. But here we've got some chests and whatnot, so we tend to raid them and sell the goods off. It's mainly those three chests, really. And you can raid those three chests endlessly, as long as you exit the castle and go back in. And you'll eventually see me doing that. At the moment I'm just leveling up, trying to. With next to no success. Here we've just got scale armor, ring armor, short sword, shields, that sort of thing. Pretty basic stuff. just a bit better than leather armor. I'll travel around. Trinsic, Jalom, Minok, Britain, U, Moongate, Moonglow, but not so often, not that often, because I've got most of the information I needed from there. I did spend some time getting information, or trying to figure out the information for Shadow Lord of Hatred, which I ended up getting. So I know by the end of this video, I know where the shards of all the Shadow Lords, all the Shadow Lords' names. At least I hope I know their names by now. There's a few that leaves me, there's only two I should say, that leaves me to be suspect, but I think in reality it's only just one that leaves me to be suspect. Of course I try to check out that island where the Resistance want to send me to, and of course that's where I lost my boat. I died trying to get there, try to level up again. It's not the easiest of games to get into. Not when you lose your experience points again. Here I am raiding the chests again, selling the gear off. Still haven't figured out what that amulet of turning is, but I suppose we'll figure it out at some point. It's got nothing to do with undead. Or spells for that matter, I think. Of course, we're just selling stuff, trying to buy boats and armor and whatnot. And by the end of this video, I'll have visited every single shrine. Meditated with the information that we got from the last game, Ultima 4. By the time I got to this point, I was wondering if there were any pirate ships that you could steal their boats. And yes, there are. They can be pretty rare at times. But once you're out on the sea, you see them all a lot. Of course, here I'm getting skull keys, which unlocks magic doors or magic locks. I'm raiding the 3 chests again, selling the equipment off. Doing it again. Mainly just to get some gold, I think. Before I started realizing the value of doing this process over and over and over again. This video, if I haven't said yet, is about 12 hours and 12 and a half hours long. And as you can see, we're just almost 3 hours into the video. We just sped up 25 times. And if you haven't noticed, this game is very tedious in the fact that the monsters are pretty much too strong. Gotta be, I dare say, level 3 or 4 or 5 to get anywhere in the game. Maximum level being level 8. I believe it's level 8. Even slimes pose a threat when everyone's at level 1. Shalom. We're trying to figure out more information. I also did keep forgetting that I accidentally, not, I didn't kill the wizard, council wizard, but we did enter into a battle and I did flee, which means he's not going to respawn ever again, so can't ask him about the moon gates, which is one of the clues I got. But as we can tell, the moon gate, there's a change to the moon gates, that all the moon gates open up again at about midnight, well, at night time, but they still change relative to the moon. Just all the locations open up and go to the location that the second moon points to, basically. Which you can see the moon gates and locations in the previous game. Here I am raiding the castle again. A multitude of times. As you can see, I've got a lot of gold up, a lot of equipment collected. By now I'll have 99 arrows, 99 bolts. Just about every weapon imaginable. And just about every armor imaginable. Up until this point, everyone's been wearing scale, chain, and ring armor. Until we get up a few levels, they can't really handle much. Using magic gear tends to help a lot. Magic gear weighs a lot less, they weigh virtually nothing, so you can wear heavier gear. And as you can see, I maxed out gold. Spend some time going around, place to place. You and Minoc mainly. Traveling via moon gates can be a pain. Here is where I switch everyone's weapons over to magic axes, which are like throwing axes, except they return to you so you don't lose your axes. Upgrade everyone's equipment to damn near plate mail. I think I changed everyone up to scale mail at this point. Add one magic shield which Snape uses. And that's where I've got try to get more information about the Shadow Lord of Hatred. Oh no, Shadow Lord of Lies, Cowardice, or whatever it is, Falsehood. Scarabray for food. Shalom for boats. And that's me, and that's us using the magic axes. Yeah, try to get information about the Shadow Lord of Cowardice. Information about the shards and names and whatnot. I must have left it on the screen for quite some time. Should have cut this out, but oh well. I might have made a cup of tea or something. Made it into Cove, got some more information about the shard or falsehood. found this is Lord Blackthorn's castle. Managed to make it in there, got trapped by him. Eventually did make it out though. I was trying to get to a piece of land which doesn't appear up in the world but is on the map, so that didn't help things. One of the prisoners tells you how you can get out. As you can see, it's not easy unless you follow the plan almost exactly. Then I went over to try to find the shrine here. Then I went back over to Minok. I think. No, another shrine. And this is where I've visited every possible shrine. Eventually got over to Shalom, Minok. Eventually figured out how to get information out of her about one of the dungeon's keywords. This is where I tried to get more information about the Shadow Lord of Hatred. Again, just travelling around by the looks of it. Scarabray. Try and talk to him. Try and see if he's got any more information, but he didn't have anything. I figured out how to look at the karma, so I know how much virtue we have. And when the apparition appears, it tells you more or less where you're at as well. When you're over 75%, you're pretty much ready to rock and roll. At this point, I believe I'm at 85%. And still got a ton of armor and weapons and whatnot that I can sell off. And just generally trying to level up. Managed to get a pirate boat. I found this fellow on a random island in the middle of nowhere. I'll show you where it is later. But you get the spy glasses so you can look at the heavens yourself. But yeah, when you get the spyglass, well, before I got the spyglass, I learned that there was 3 comets. Each comet is affecting one of the 8 celestial beings and 8 celestial positions, or whatever. Anyway, this is where I'm in a dungeon Covetous, which is the dungeon of sacrifice. And this is where I just spend my time leveling up for the remainder of this video, more or less. Trying not to die, so that way we can actually gain some levels. Because dying just... ugh. But when the creatures are too strong, it's just a nightmare. spend like forever just trying to get up to level 5. I spent some time mapping out the place too, I think. But as you can see, magic axes come in real handy. And eventually, only half the rooms had anything of value or fights in it at all, so bit of a pain. Still died some though, but I was able to get a few characters levels up, so excuse me. I might have been trying to get to Geelong to try and get a boat so I can get back to Dungeon Covetous, because it can only be accessed by the bay near Minoc. I eventually did put in a workaround. You'll probably see that towards the end of the video. Only about 4 more hours to cover. But you can see what I eventually would have done. And that's used boats to make a workaround. This is where I started getting a bit more serious. Trying to get more levels in the dungeon. Whenever someone dies, I exit the dungeon and get them resurrected. Try to heal up a bit more, cure, that sort of stuff. So I eventually mix up a lot of potions, a lot of spells, that way we can cast what we need. Since we can't cast resurrect, we just have to be able to leave the dungeon, heal up like that. At least healing in Minoc is free, which is why you choose Dungeon Covetous. Resurrecting does cost quite a bit. But should we need any money, we'll head to Lord British's castle and raid the treasure chests again. But as you can see, you get some here, but it's not that much. Went to you. Probably trying to. Oh yeah, I'm getting reagents, that's right. And sell some weapons off. Sorry about that. I accidentally used a gem to view the overworld, or part of it. But it's very important to attack a few times, heal up whenever someone's injured, cure whatever you can when you can. So pretty much when you start the game, you've got to fight, flee, heal, fight again, flee, heal. Which does go against the virtues and whatnot. But that fleeing doesn't affect the virtue or karma as much. And eventually, some of the rooms no longer have creatures in them, so which makes things a little bit more difficult when you're trying to level up faster. Of course, I have to be more aware of who's dying, who's not, and all that sort of stuff. As you can see, Gwenno and Julia managed to get up to level 2 because Hale's jumped up to 60. And I'll continue the process to the point where on the first level, only 2 rooms have any critters in them. As you can see, it just becomes a nightmare. Because we've got to kill everything in those 2 rooms, exit the dungeon, then come back. Kill everything in those 2 rooms, come back, exit, come back. And repeat that process for God knows how long. But when you get down to the next dungeon, you eventually lose those critters in there, and you end up having to go to level 3, and that's where you run into some gargoyles at some point, which then kill you. It's way too strong. It's the one thing I kept thinking about in this game, is that the critters are way too strong. Even the most basic critter, slimes and insects, just way too difficult. Even spiders can be proved to be quite difficult. We did manage to somehow defeat the gargoyles, but we ended up dying. Ended up leaving and almost dying. But we managed to get someone up to level 3. And there you go, there's the solution. Oh no, not yet. In that room with the 2 gargoyles, there's a Zorn in the middle, so it makes it even more difficult when half your team becomes confused and starts attacking virtually everything and anything. They start off with your teammates first. Very annoying. Yeah, almost everyone's at to level 2 or more. Change their equipment a little bit. Because once you get up to level 2 and using magic weapons, pretty much anyone can use iron then. Iron armor and plate armor, I should say, and large shields and whatnot. As you can see, things get a little easier, not by much. But the magic axes helped out a lot. The problem is the magic axes can't go through walls or anything like that, so it's line of sight. It's good that they act a lot like boomerangs in the sense that they come back to you, so you don't have to have a pile of magic axes and lose them as you use them. But as you can see, that's the solution with the boats, to make a sort of bridge. Probably only glimpsed it, but yeah. By this point, there's only like 2 or 3 rooms in the first 3 floors of the dungeons that we can use, because the gargoyles can go invisible. Just selling more gear. You get a lot of gear when you repeat the raiding of Lord British's castle. And there we have it, and that's the end of that. Let me just show you the information that we got for the Shadow Lords. Just give me a second or 200. Capture. Bear with me. And it should be not that one. This one. And there we have it. So, as you can see, there's no dungeon or word of power for Hithloth that I know of. And Hatred Shadowlord is Astaroth, and Nosventar for cowardice. So there you have it for that. And I'll catch you on the next episode, hopefully.